Hello, everybody. I'm reading the comments. Oh, uh, today, well, go ahead and put Marion on, Stacy, so we can see her up here as well. There we go. So, I am introducing Marion Russell, who's part of our leadership group. This is her first time to join us on Energy Focus of the Week. However, quite some time ago, I can't remember how many years ago, Marion, you and I did some things on Blog Talk Radio, as did Leslie many years ago. So this is a new venue for you, but welcome. I'm really glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Marion and I do what we call interplane work together on Zoom. So we're sort of used to that kind of thing, but this is kind of a different venue. And thank you to Stacy, who's in the background to help us. It's always so important that we keep our wits about us. I think we could do that. Anyway, we have a really interesting time for you today. This is, as you know, a time when there is lots going on in the world, and it's really important that we keep our attention on what is happening for us, because we create our own world through that. So, all right. So, here is what we have for you today. Marion and I love the luminaries. We actually use the luminaries at the beginning of all of our meetings, all of the interplane sessions that we do. And this one for today, I would say it's one of our favorites, but I think they're all our favorites. So this one is called Wings, and it has the frequency of the number 5 and 11. So if some of you work with numerology, this is a really good way for you to be able to see what this energy is about. So Marion, if you would go ahead and hold up Wings and show people what this one looks like. So look how beautiful that is. Those colors are one of my favorites. That I'm really into turquoise. I used to really love blue. Now I really love turquoise. And it has some violet color in there as well. So as she's holding that up, I want to tell you that we've just picked out a few parts of this because I want to give you something you can take with you for the week. So the part that I want you to really feel is like a dragonfly of delight. Fly free into the depth of your soul felt desires. This is where dreams manifest. So, we're going to be talking about what it means to fly free and what it means to find your soul felt desires and how that is a little different from other kinds of desires, and what it means maybe to manifest that. So, Marion, you can go ahead and put that down as we talk. It is, I think the thing that I would like us to start with is to talk a little bit about what it means to fly free. And this is kind of bringing on something that I hadn't anticipated, but it wants to come forward. So I'll just say a little bit about how I feel, and then you can tell me how you feel. Because when I visualize a dragonfly, I love to watch dragonflies. And to this whole idea of flying free is what I consider to be a part of being in our own energy, in our own way of finding what is right for us. And that's flying free. But it's like in the world that we have live in, there's so many shoulds, and those shoulds can keep us from flying free. So, Marion, when you think of flying freely, what does that mean to you?
Well, what happened just minutes before we even came on, I wrote something down that now I can free myself from certain restrictions, but I wrote this, I wrote a little bit different. And what I said is, instead of saying human divine desires, I said, we are divine humans. We are divine humans with soul knowing desires. That allowed me to fly free. Now, that's what came in, and that's what I'm sharing, and it feels really good for me. So,
That is perfect. Because
thanks.
I was wanting to make sure that we were differentiating between desires that and human desires are fine, but if we get into something where we're only thinking of making money or things that are very human, we lose out on the desires that are deeper, that are in the soul, that
And
come from that deep place.
when divine
Yes.
is over here and human is over here, it looks like we have to go to something. We already are there. We just have to know that for ourselves. So I like the divine human instead of it. You see what I mean? The difference is like night and day for me. So
Yeah.
thanks for that.
Yeah. And Marion and I've talked many times about how there seem to be like three parts of us that we are working with, and that is this what I call the soul self, and then there is the body, which is part of the human, and then there is the mind, which to me is different than the brain. And we won't go into all that today, but what I want to point out is that what we are doing when we get the divine desires is that we're talking about coming together, all of that coming together, and that is then what you're talking about as a divine human. So that is really cool. Okay, so what let's do is
Wherever you are, right on.
uh, so let us take a look at one question that is part of this. Again, put up the wings again for just a minute. The question that's part of that chapter is, how do I claim my wings? So what we have been talking about is the things that get in the way. So that's okay, Marion, you can take that down. The things that can get in the way of us claiming our wings. It means that claiming our freedom, claiming who we truly are, that kind of thing. So, what we want to do is just talk for a minute about what it is that can get in the way of us knowing what our divine, human, and divine desires are. And Marion, is this something really short that you might help them with as to how you can get away from the divine desires, how it is that you lose your freedom?
Well, I think I'd have to define. I can never do anything short, and you know that. It's like freedoms. What freedoms? Because it's like, um, ask me another question, Arlene, because that
Okay,
one
well
was
let me
too
just
deep.
take this one, this, and you will think of it. What we have found is that we've been programmed. The outer world has told us what it is that we need to do and how we are to be free. And what Marion and I have done a lot of study about this, and what we've seen is that really so much divides us from who we really are, or what our true desires are inside. And this particular card is helping us to show how we can let go of that, and we can find who we really are inside. And that's how we fly freely. Because if we can't let go of that, we are still tethered to something that isn't truly who we are. So what would you like to say about that, Mary?
I believe that our inner knowing is our go-to. Okay, meaning the true essence of us, and to be in that true essence of yourself at all times. Now, what is that, and what the heck is she talking about? Well, it's like what's an example of that, Arlene? It would be like when you get a gut reaction to something, that's the true essence. And it only lasts about a half a second, and then you go back to your own baloney stuff. And you want that to last for a long time, all right? So that you can understand you without all that stuff. And so that means trust. You got to trust that gut experience. And there's many more. I just can't think of them, but just that knowing. You just know, and you got to trust that no. Even if you're wrong the first time, keep going back until you go, wow, I think I'm getting to know me a little bit. And you will. Of course, Arlene has these courses that even help you get even more into it and more understanding, but and they work, by the way, very nicely. So I don't know, anything else, Arlene? You have a few things.
Yeah, well, what I was thinking about is that as we let go of these things that we're tethered to that aren't who we truly are, it raises our frequency. And when you're talking about flying freely, you want to be able to be in the frequency of your true self, not being tethered to something that isn't you. So this is, and one of the things in here that it goes into then is it says that this is, I am the freedom that you seek. So this card is giving us the energy so we can feel what it is to be free and the completion that you desire. So the completion is really about being able to be as complete as possible within yourself so you live as that. And that is really what allows us to do what we came here in this world to do, to not get sidetracked, to not be told by someone else that you're doing it wrong, which was one of the things that I heard a lot. So all of us have ways in which we do feel that we're kind of, it's hard to stay on that track. But the more and more that we work with this, and the more that we have others that we can be with that are in a similar mindset, not a mindset, but really a similar way of looking at who we are here in form, then that is when we begin to be really free. So let's move on to the next one. The next one is a strength in black, which I think is a really good combination for the wings, because, and the part that I picked out from that is that life is in stages, because one of the things that can sometimes keep us in a lower frequency or can keep us tethered is when we don't understand that what we're going through is a stage of life, but we begin to think of it as, oh, this is the way it's always going to be. And from the book that I wrote, that's called Color Cards, it's a set of cards and book. In that, this particular paragraph is, you understand that what you are experiencing at this moment will pass. You see life in stages. Your willingness to be totally present in a particular stage of life allows you to extract its juiciness and its direction for your life. Well, think of that. If you're flying free, you get to feel the juiciness of life. You're not being held down by things that aren't who you are. So this whole idea of seeing things in stages, but being totally present in the stage that you're in. That is critical. Is there anything you want to add to that, Marion?
Well, the stage, okay, say for instance, all right, you're experiencing a stage in your life, and then the next part, you find you're in another stage. You don't want to forget the stage you were in, because then you can learn to connect the dots as to, what's really going on here? So I'm old enough to know that I didn't do that until I got older. And sometimes you have to keep a journal. And we have a course, Arlene has a course for journaling as well. And that helps you go back to, oh, well, that's what that meant. And then you just start connecting dots. And then you can find out some pretty fascinating and very magical things about yourself.
Okay, so that's really where we're at now. Then with these two cards, the wings is talking about flying free, and we can be that. And then the black is talking about pay attention to the stage you're in, be present with it, because that's part of flying free. All right, so we are going to move on now into the next section of this. But before I do want to tell everybody about the membership group that we have that's called the Vortal. And that's taken from one of the luminaries. And the Vortal is a place where you can get to know other people. And some of us have known each other for a very long time, and we have new people coming in, and we want them to understand what we're about as well. And so we're having fun just trying out different things. And this Journal with Your Knowing Self is one of the things that comes once a month for the people that are in the Vortal. And then I also do a presentation, and we have a discussion, kind of like Marion and I've been doing here, that really helps us think about things at a very deep level, but hear different people's voices. Because what we find is everybody has their own way at looking at things. And we learn so much from each other. And then we really get to know that soul of each person and feel comfortable to be who we are. So this is part of it. What was that, Marion?
And our own soul as well. It's all together.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so if you would like to take a look at that, if you go to our website, transformationaltools.com, you will find that it tells you all about the Vortal, and you can sign up. It's just $7 a month, and you can have fun with us. And this is one of the things that I have put out to the Vortal too, hoping that they will be part of that. All right, so now we're going to go to doing a short card reading for each of you who are here live. And so Stacy, I think what I'm going to say, let's see, I don't have the list here, but Stacy, can you come on with us and just give us the names of the ones, and then we'll pick the cards for them.
Surprise! So just so you have a quick rundown, we've got Leslie and Will, Ray, Julia, and Jeannie joined in, and then someone with AF. I'm not sure what that stands for, but AF said hugs, so that's a good thing.
We always like hugs.
Right? So that's what I see currently. If anybody pops up, I'll pop it in the chat.
And if some of those of you who watch this after the fact, if you're able to come in person on this time, you will get your reading too.
And it's Angelfish.
Angelfish. All right.
Thank you,
All right.
Angelfish.
All right, Stacy, and we'll pick a card for Stacy too. All right, let's go ahead and pick one for Leslie. So, Marion, do you feel like hers is a luminary or a color card?
Oh, wow. Okay, just a minute.
Marion really loves these luminaries, so
Well,
she'll probably
Leslie, I got that it's a luminary, not a color card.
All right, that's
What
a
did
good
you-
one. So now you can pick her luminary then.
Oh my goodness, I picked wings. Leslie, I picked wings.
Well, what I believe is that that always means that Leslie's inner self is saying to her, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. Because when it comes up twice, it means that it's truly, truly what. Okay, so what would you say about that for Leslie? It happens that we know Leslie. Some of you we won't know, but we'll just be zooming in to through our inner knowing. But I'm just feeling that. What do you feel about that, Marion?
Well, first of all, I'm sort of in a little bit of a shock that I picked wings. I mean, I don't know. I just think that's kind of funny to me. Just what we talked about. I think that when I say a divine human with soul knowing desire, that comes up for me, and maybe it's for me, not for Leslie. I don't know yet, but it's I also, what comes up is how do you claim your wings? That comes up. And that the also the freedom, something about freedom comes up too. So that's all I have, is just kind of little words here and there. What comes up for you?
Well, I'm similarly that, but I feel like when people have gone through a period of time when a lot of things are happening emotionally with body, that kind of thing, that there has to be a time then when they begin to allow themselves to be free. And I think that Leslie, this is your time to be free, and claiming that freedom is so important. And I would suggest that you go to the dragonfly that is part of the energy of wings, and ask dragonfly to take you into the atmosphere, take you into the higher frequencies and let you see things from there, because I think you're ready to do that.
And what I got was freer.
Yeah, because she is free. Yeah.
The freer meaning there's more. There's something more. Cool.
All right, I picked a color card for Will, and this is a really good one for him. So it's the strength in blue. So I'm going to say a little bit about that, and then maybe you can just feel that, Marion, and see what is there. So in the little color card here, it says peaceful, creative, and flowing. I think that's really good for you, Will, because you've been doing a number of creative things right now. And what I see is this peaceful river taking you where you need to go next. And it just kind of pauses and sort of like a stream would do, where it would be in a little whirlpool or it'd be around a rock or something. And so there are pauses, but there's this stream going on that's a very creative stream for you. And what my heart says is, Will, enjoy this flow, enjoy this ride, because this is perhaps the most creative you've ever been in your life. So that will just be a wonderful time for you to really go with what is coming up in your creativity. Do you want to add anything to that, Miriam?
Well, this is kind of a little selfish, I think, but when I see blue, I think of orange and it was Will that gave me a certain, I don't know, sense of at easeness one day when he mentioned something that has to do with orange, and I'm not going to say that on this program. So that's what I came up for me. But I don't know what else I could say about that. I think you pretty much covered everything, and I think you're right on. So
Well, let's go for Ray, who's really been active here. It's kind of nice. So Ray, what I picked for you is a luminary called Expanding. So Marion, can you get Expanding out and show Ray what that looks like? And this particular one is so appropriate for the time that we're in, because we truly are expanding. We're expanding in our energy, we're expanding in our way of understanding, we're expanding in terms of how we see ourselves as humans. There's so many ways in which we are expanding. So, and in this, there are a lot of what could be seen as beings that are part of it. And those, I feel like you work with a number of beings. And so, Ray, you can just be with them in a circle. And what I'm getting is make it a circle of love, a circle of acceptance, a circle of feeling like you can be in your own unique flow. So this is a really good one for you, I think. And this one is for all of us as we are expanding. All right, so let's see, Julia's here. Julia, what's hers? I think Julia's is a color card. So let's see what we've got for Julia. So, oh, interesting. Okay, Julia, yours is the lesson in pink, and it says care for your inner child. But what I'm feeling for you, Julia, is I was actually working with pink this morning. I think that when there are so many things going on and we get into kind of a quiet space, we can go into that feeling of pink, and it will just soothe our soul, soothe our human, and allow us to not get pulled into a lot of chaos and drama, even though we're aware of it. But pink can help us be in our own bubble that really soothes and helps us. Do you get anything else from that one for Julia, Marion?
well, I'm looking at the book right now, and
Yeah.
I noticed that, I don't think I noticed this before, was the amount of, it says avoid unpleasantness, avoid anger, avoiding all these avoiding words, okay, in the lessons of pink. And so I feel that if that being the true for this person, I want to say to her to look at all these places and go straight through them and then bring it into the heart and understand self in a way that you have the courage and the trust to flip over anything that's unpleasant to you, anything that is not agreeable, the best that you can, and keep working at it and keep playing with it. That's all I have.
All right. Well, I think for Jeannie, we need a luminary. So why don't you pick a luminary for Jeannie?
Jeannie? You mean G?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Jeannie. Ooh. Ecstasy.
Oh boy, that's wonderful.
Y'all
So
get it out.
Jeannie, yeah, that has a lot of pink in it too.
There you go. Ecstasy.
Hi, Jeannie. Okay, Jeannie, are you ready for ecstasy? I feel like, Jeannie, you have come such a long ways. And, one of the things it says in the book about ecstasy is it's something we can choose. And I think you have been choosing ecstasy in so many ways. And sometimes it goes in and out, but I think you have been there for a long time. Oh, yeah. Angel says pink and ecstasy, total Venus vibes. So
Mhm.
yeah, we love Venus vibes. uh, that'd be a good one for you, Jeannie, to do some writing on. What are the Venus vibes that are going on? All right, so we have one last one, and that's for you, Angel. I want to, Marion. What I picked for her is okay, what is it? This one is
That's
called
integrity. Integrity.
integrity. And so integrity is, if you see this, what looks like a doorway in the center of it, and all of these beings or whatever they are, they're around there. Yeah, I see those as parts of yourself, and you're bringing in everything that you are in through the doorway into the wholeness of you here and now. That's the wholeness of you as a soul. That's the wholeness of you as a human. And that's a wholeness of you as the mind that you have. And those three together, all of these different parts of you, some of them may be a part of the mind, some of it represents the soul, and some of it represents the human that you are. So all of that is coming together, and integrity means wholeness. Integrity means that all the pieces are important. So what do you get for Angel with integrity, Marion?
Well, first of all, I say, what is home? What is home? And then I want to say, I love this part. I just want to read a little bit. Do you mind? Is that okay, Arlene? Because this is your
Yeah, go
program.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I offer you the way home, and then you define that for yourself. You are tired from the many travels through life. It is time to rest in the bosom of love. Allow your homing device to bring you back where you began, back to the emerald doorway, into the all. You have accomplished more than you know. Come home. I wish you'd hold that up again. Boy, that's nice.
There it is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There you go.
And yeah, see what you can see there, Angel, is that though goes out beyond you, the vibrations of that. The more that we move into our wholeness, the more that those vibrations just go right beyond us, out into our energy field and into the world. All right, so let's pick one for Stacy.
Stacy.
You pick a luminary for Stacy.
Ooh. It's ecstasy again. Gosh, I'm definitely going to run it. Okay. It's ecstasy, Stacy. It's ecstasy for you too. That's funny. Oh my goodness. I think.
Well, I think that in the midst of all the things that you're juggling, Stacy, that you are doing such a good job of staying in your own flow and being able to appreciate what's happening in your garden and in yourself and with your qigong that you do. It's just wonderful to me that you are able to do that. And that to me is ecstasy, when we are able to stay in that, even though there's a lot of other things going on.
Well put.
Oh, Candy.
I want to say
Candy.
you are the joy of ecstasy, Stacy. The joy of ecstasy.
All right, we missed one, Candy B. Okay, so Candy. I'm feeling like it's a color card for Candy. Let me just see what we got for her. Candy, the one that I picked for you is the lesson in turquoise. Turquoise is one of the colors that is in a secondary set of colors for us in our color therapy that we do. And it says, say yes to the meaning of your life. So whenever I get this card, what it says to me is I'm being taken to a new level of my of who I am and what I'm here for. So what I would suggest to you, Candy, is just spend some time saying, okay, what is the growing edge here of what I'm being taken to? And because turquoise is also very creative, I'm feeling that this is a creative edge for you. So I think that you will find as you move into that, not that it's all new, but that it is an addition to something you've already been doing, and that you're going to find that it gives you great joy to go. It's like this next life stage. It's bringing you to a different place of appreciating all of what you have already done, and what you will be adding on. And then, as you listen and say yes to that, what I do is I turn the card around. So here's the lesson, and then the other side of the card is the strength, and it says self-responsible, full of integrity, and purposeful. And see, that's what happens when we say yes to that next piece that we're moving into. Okay, so that is it. Yeah.
1 minute. I want to say one thing.
Okay.
Your heart knows, Candy, your heart. And you already have inside of you that purpose or purposes. So I just needed to add that to what
Good.
Arlene said.
Yeah. All right. Well, we thank you all for being here, and it's always such a pleasure to do this. If you're interested in these card sets, these are ones that I created, the luminaries I created with Lorinda Eileen, who's the artist. And you can find those on our website if you just go to transformationaltools.com. And if you look in the store under card decks, you will find that there. You're welcome, Candy. Thank you for coming. And Angel, please come back. And Ray, we're happy to have you here. So thank you, and thank you for all of the others that keep coming. And it gives us such a sense of home when we come here and we see everybody here who's part of this. So, all right. So love you all. We will see you next Sunday. Not Sunday, Friday. Next Friday at noon.